and welcome to my channel, Changing the Face of Fibromyalgia. I'm Jessica, and I'm happy you're here with me today. You're not going to want to miss today's video because I'm going over the number one thing that's wreaking havoc in your body and causing your symptoms. So stay tuned. I am so glad you joined me today. I'm excited to share this information with you today. It's going to be a two-parter. On this week's video, I'm going to talk about a nasty illness that is going on within your body that you're definitely going to want to pay attention to. And next week, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to start healing that illness. Please keep in mind, I am not a medical professional. Anything that I talk about is based on my experience only, as well as the research that I have done and my journey with autoimmune, fibromyalgia, Sjorgens, and Raynauds syndrome. What if I was to tell you that I know exactly what's going on in your body that is the root cause of everything you're experiencing? Well, I don't know you personally, but if you're watching this video, then you're interested in fibro and autoimmune and chronic pain and illness. So let's talk about that. What if I told you that at the root of a tree, what keeps the tree up and standing and is at the base of the tree is leaky gut? And then you have the tree that goes up and branches off, and on those branches are all of your symptoms: autoimmune, irritable bowel syndrome, adrenal fatigue, blurry vision, fight or flight, bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation. Maybe you've been diagnosed with diverticulitis or Crohn's or celiac disease. Have you ever stopped and thought, okay, I know that I have these illnesses, but what is causing them? I would sit here for days and ponder, but I would just want to know, like, what's causing these symptoms? Why am I so sick? Nobody could tell me what was going on. Oh, well, you have autoimmune, you have fibromyalgia. You're going to have to learn to live with it. You're going to be in pain for the rest of your life. More than likely, you're going to get worse. The good news is that we can give you a medication to help try to suppress some of those symptoms and make you a little bit more comfortable. But I wasn't satisfied with that. I wanted to know, okay, I know the body is born a certain way and naturally it's supposed to react to certain things going on in the body and heal itself. But what is so sick in me causing these symptoms? What's going on? Nobody could tell me. 20 years ago, I started out with bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation. At that time, I was 95 pounds. I'm 5'3", so yes, I was thin, but I had a very high metabolism. Anything I ever ate, I burned off right away. And I noticed that I started gaining weight, and definitely around the midsection, things started to bloat and get bigger. I started noticing some more pain in my body. It hurt to really touch certain parts of my body, my arms, my legs. And I did notice some sleep disturbances. But at the time, I had young children, and I just thought, that's a part of being a parent, and I'm exhausted. I'm just tired from that stress. So I went to the doctor, and I said, these are the things I'm experiencing with my stomach. I'm afraid to leave the house because the stomach cramps and the diarrhea get so bad, and I'm having anxiety with it. He said, you have a classic case of irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. And I said, okay, well, what do we do about it? He said, the best thing to prescribe you is an antidepressant. Let's suppress those symptoms and make you more comfortable. And me being at the time young and not really knowing, a whole lot about what's going on in there, I thought, okay, I'm desperate. I don't really want an antidepressant because I'm not depressed. But he assured me that it was going to suppress the symptoms that I'm having and make me more comfortable. So what did I do? I started Lexapro. And that began my journey of a downhill spiral. Each year, things seemed to be getting worse. I seemed to be more fatigued and weak. My inflammation was out of control. My joints began to ache and hurt. I was stiff in the mornings when I got up. My skin began to itch and I began to get rashes that were unexplained. I would go to the doctor, I'd get an antihistamine, the itching would go down, but it always come right back. I began to experience major anxiety, a whole bunch of symptoms, cystitis, and I just was confused. Nobody could give me the answers. So when I went to the chiropractor in 2017 of September, he started to talk to me about leaky gut. And I had heard the terminology before, leaky gut, I just never did much research into it. And I went home and I started to research and found out that yes, we're born with a leaky gut. And that when we're born, we're then given mother's milk, colostrum, and it starts to heal the holes within the intestinal wall. But what if you weren't breastfed? Did your leaky gut heal? No. What if you were breastfed and you were breastfed for at least 2 years and you say, well, I was breastfed, so my leaky gut has to be healed. I can't have leaky gut. Not true. Even if you heal your leaky gut as a child, as life goes on and you experience traumatic experiences, major stress in your life, you get sick, start taking antibiotics, or you have a fever and you take acetaminophen or ibuprofen. All of those can start to produce more holes in the intestinal wall. Well, then what happens? The things that you ingest, food, toxins, medications, bacteria, start to pass through those little holes into the body cavity, into your bloodstream. Then what happens? Your natural body's response is an autoimmune response. Attack itself, kill the invader. Also, your inflammation response goes way up because inflammation is the body's natural way of healing. So then you go to the doctor with all of these symptoms and you say, this is what I'm experiencing, what is going on with me? Well, we're really not sure. Let's go ahead and test you for autoimmune. You come back, yes, you're positive for autoimmune, but you don't fit in the RA category or the lupus or the MS, so you have fibromyalgia. What do they then do? They start treating the symptoms, not healing the cause, but treating the symptoms to make you more comfortable. I have been on almost any medication possible that they pass out for fibromyalgia and autoimmune, and I had no earthly idea the damage that I was doing to my body. I then started to learn that I had a yeast overgrowth called Candida, and the Candida was invading my body. And I was getting multiple symptoms from Candida, and I had no earthly idea what chaos was going on in there. All I know is that the medications in the beginning started to suppress the symptoms, but the symptoms kept coming back, and they kept coming back harder and faster, and things were just out of control. Leaky gut can be very dangerous to the body, and so can Candida overgrowth. I really want you to spend some time researching leaky gut, Candida, adrenal fatigue. The stress response in your body when it is sick then goes to your adrenal glands, which secretes cortisol, which is the stress response, to help the body calm itself. But when the stress response is too much and the cortisol is pumping, your adrenals get tired. They get exhausted. Meanwhile, you start to experience more fatigue, more weakness. You're not really on top of your game. You notice things start going downhill. Please research them. It is so important that you start to understand that autoimmune is simply the branch that comes from the root of the tree, which is leaky gut. You start to get inflamed nerves. You start having the sleep disturbances, the anxiety, the depression, the ADHD, the OCD. All of those things can be contributed back to leaky gut. And I know what I'm saying is pretty radical. And I know you're probably thinking, I'm going to talk to my doctor about leaky gut. Please do. However, I will warn you that most doctors don't believe in leaky gut and they don't believe in adrenal fatigue. It is a stigma, and they will tell you that's not your problem. But I bet they can't tell you either what is the problem. What is the root of the problem? And I know that if you're like me, you want to know. You want to know what's going on so that you can heal and be a part of your life again. I cannot believe what I have read and what I've learned over the past 6-7 months. My life has done a 360. I've lost 28 pounds. My inflammation levels are way down, at least 50-55%. My body is healing. I have more energy. I'm healthier. I'm more vibrant. The pain has gone way down, and I'm still healing. I want you to experience that as well. I don't believe that people need to continue to suffer when there is an answer and it can be healed. I'm in touch with women every day, and a lot of those women are doing my regimen that I have learned over time and through my chiropractic care, and those women are healing as well. Women with RA, MS, lupus, celiac, Crohn's, diverticulitis. They're healing, and it's a miraculous thing to see. So please make sure that you definitely stay tuned for next week's video, because I'm going to tell you what you need to start doing to heal that leaky gut. Tell you what you need to be looking out for and what you need to start including in your regimen every single day. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'd love for you to continue the journey with me, and give me a thumbs up. Let me know how I'm doing, and comment below with any symptoms that you may be having. Are you experiencing these symptoms? And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them for you. So I can't wait till next time, and thank you so much for helping me change the face of fibromyalgia.